She waited. Ah, it's been, oh, I didn't bring my water. I hope I'm okay. Oh no. Prayers. Prayers, I didn't grab my water. Whew. Okay. All right. I'm going to get started. Hi. Hello. How are you? Amanda, Sane Artist. I'm live. I haven't been live for 2 Mondays, so it's been, what, 3 weeks? We were gone. We went to Boston, did the Boston Marathon. I did my Boston 5K. That was an eye opener. And then I got sick. I've gotten sick both times we've gone to Boston. I get awful sick. Like, I never, ever, ever get, so I'm sick now. I don't need to knock on wood, but I never get sick. But when I go to Boston, I get sick. Like, it's the same kind of sick, too. It's a cough. And it's like, it's almost like it's the cough that doesn't quit. I found the perfect night remedy, though, to sleep. It's very particular. I have to get Theraflu lemon drink. You drink it hot, and it makes you drowsy. It's a nighttime. And when I start feeling drowsy, that's when I'm like, dear, it's bedtime. And we go upstairs, and I go and shoot back a NyQuil, get myself ready for bed. And then I have to, like, prop myself up, take my big old king-size pillow and drape it tight. And then I have to wedge the pillow between my shoulder and my head and sleep like this, propped up on my side, because I have to have one nostril and water. That's the system. I'm not a mover in my sleep. Is anybody else not a mover in their sleep? Once I get in my place, I'm there. If I fall asleep on my back, and that's when I cough the most, is when I sleep on my back. So I've been sleeping on my side, which I guess is bad. It causes all the wrinkles on everything that gets squished. Okay, so let's get started. There's some people here. Say hi. How are you? Where are you? And we're going to do our makeup. So it is still April, and it is almost May. So I'm going to share this month's shade of the month, and we're going to play with it. And I'm going to show next month's shade of the month, because they kind of go together. I love these two colors. I think I'm going to wear them every day. I've been wearing next month's a lot. So this month is Lily, and I'm going to say there's not another color like Lily. It is a lavender pink. Does that make sense? It's pink, a little bit purple, but it's super pigmented. None of our other colors that I have found that are light I'm so fair. Let's see. It's got a good amount of pigment on it. Strawberry Fields, you couldn't see it. Mama, Paris, they just don't, Cupcake, they just don't have that kick to the pigment. It's very like a modern retro color when you think of the 70s and the discos and for some reason when I put it on, I always think of Austin Powers and what I would imagine those girls are wearing. Sorry. Lily, it's really, really beautiful. It's a great primer. It's a great standalone color. It's a great layer if you don't want shimmer, but you want to pop on the mid of your lid. Lily is the color, so go grab it. Next month's color is Una, and I'm going to say this is a different kind of color because I don't think it's for everyone, but it is. It's like Bayou or Duke or sometimes even Tawanda or As If. People kind of turn their nose at it and they're like, that's too much. I don't think this is. It's purple, and it's really great for hazel eyes or brown eyes. It's so, so pretty. It's a shimmer. It is purple, and it's really pretty. It's different than As If. It's more bright than deep, and I layered it on top of Revival this weekend. It was so pretty. I think I want to try it on top of Lullaby. But I also want to play with browns. I've been missing the smoky eye, so I'm going to do the smoky eye. So we're going to do our eyes first because I did my skincare, my new skincare that I'm still doing. It's been 6 weeks. It's really good. It's really good. I think with my discoloration, it's old and deep. It's just going to take a long time. I don't think that it doesn't take overnight to get there. It's not going to take overnight to get rid of it. And I really don't think there's a skincare that really can get rid of it. But whatever. My skin feels incredible. And so at the end of the 3 months, I'm going to share what it is. But I am going to say the price and quantity are so good. I am 6 weeks in. I'm not even halfway through any of my product. Not even really a quarter of the way through. And I'm using it morning and night. The bottles are big. They're big. They're good. Especially the eye cream. It's as big as a serum. I mean, it will last me forever. That's what I like. I hate when you get a product and it's in a big old bottle and this is all you get. This bugs me a little bit. But I hate when you get a bottle and then the tube inside the bottle is significantly smaller. Elf. Um, so what you get is what you get. So, all right, we're going to be doing our eyes. I have started using an eyeshadow primer. I don't think it makes the pigment more, but I will say my longevity of my eyeshadow is so much better doing this than doing the cream. So if you're looking, there is a link in the description if you want to get this. This is a Synogens. It's Shadow Scent. So I think it's considered an eyeshadow. This is the color Candlelight, and it's really good. So I just pop this on my lid, and then I just sweep it over. I use a brush. I'm using my BK Beauty brush. This is 203, and I love this brush, but I just use this to just sweep it. I mainly try to focus it on the lid and the crease because that's where creasing typically happens, and it gives you a good amount of coverage. And then I sweep it up to the brow at the end, and then I come out to the corner. Okay. Hold on, we got a troll that even titled their name. There we go. That should work. Okay, so we're gonna go in. We're just a few minutes in and we're already getting, I was really hoping that we weren't gonna get the weirdos today, but we're just gonna sweep this in, sweep this up, and give our lid some coverage, and then keep it from creasing. I've really liked this. My friend, she sleeps in her makeup. She uses her eyeshadow for 3 days. So I would say, sorry, I would say I really like it. And I think it really works. And that's what made me try it. When I see something work for somebody, that's when I start doing it. And so with the skincare, I watched my friend using it for over a year, just watching, not even talking to her about it. And I started seeing her skin liven and brighten. And then I was like, okay, are you doing this, this, and this in addition to skincare? Because I hate when people are like, this skincare, but they're out getting chemical peels, vampire facials, and all these weird, crazy things. Hello, Desiree. Good morning. But I hate when people are pushing skincare, but they're also doing chemical peels and all the crazy things. And it's like, okay, so is it the skincare or is it all this other stuff? And it is probably the other stuff. She has a condition, she can't get skin stuff, so it's the skincare. I asked her, I was like, is it the skincare? Is it? And she said it was. All right, I'm gonna prep my eyes with Lily. It's such a good color because it can be really super punchy and retro. Look, see how nice that is? But then it can also be blended way down, and I can bring it up to the brow. And this is such a pretty base, but this could also be just, I paired it with Sedona, which is like a warm brown, and it looks really good. And then I used my finger to punch it up on the lid, and it was really, really pretty. And then we're going to be playing with Una. If you are turning, sometimes I think you should have 1 or 2 colors that are outside of your comfort zone. So if you're going to go and do something fun, you have something fun. And I think that Una is one of those colors that you think you're going to punch up your makeup and make it wild, and it's just nice. And you're like, I could actually wear this every day. All right, so we're going to take Lily and we're bringing it up and onto the brow. I really hope I don't have a coughing fit today. All right, I think the colors I want to use with Una today, sorry, is going to be, oops, wrong palette. Eyeshadows. All of them. I can feel a tickle. I was like, I'm going to try to go live and not be a gross coughing person. All right, we're going to use the eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to go into Havana. I really like Havana for spring and summer. It's like the summer version of Leo. And so Leo is just a little bit, I don't know, deeper than brighter. I mean, it's just such a subtle difference. So if you have one, I don't want to say you don't need the other. I would say if you have butterscotch, you don't need Leo. All right, so I'm going to go into Havana, get that little orange, and we're going to pop this. Wait, I want to put some shimmer. we're going to grab Drift, of course. And I have to just on my brow bone. Then we could grab our Havana and we could just pop this up high. I like some warmth. I like a warm transition color. I never did this before Saint, and then as I play with the eyeshadows, because I try to do something a little bit different every day. I just do. But ever since I got Leo, I've never not used it as a transition. It's just really pretty. All right. So we're going to pop that up there, and I'm going to use this small end. We're going to go into Cocoa. I want to use Philly, but Philly's out of stock, and there's no idea when we're getting it back. So we're going to take Cocoa, a nice dark brown. I'm going to use the small end, and I am going to go on the outer corner here. And we're just going to push this onto the outer corner, into the crease, and then up and out onto the brow bone. And then under the eye. And then we're going to blend it out, but I want to pull this up. It's really hard not doing the brows first because it really tells me how far out I can go. You'd think I would get it by now, but I always fall a little bit short on that. But I know I can come out back here. This looks wild, but once I get the rest of the face on, it pulls together. Because I don't have my brows drawn on. Okay, you have to confess how much you like to say, I tried another popular, oh, all over Facebook. What was it? Ooh, Desiree, what was this other brand? Was it Bellamy? I see a lot of people using Bellamy. I see a lot of people using, I bet was it Bellamy? Was it Charlotte Tilbury? A lot of people use Charlotte Tilbury. I like to do ingredient comparisons with other companies, or was it the other cream? And their only difference, I had somebody say, what makes this different than Saint? What's it called? I mean, it's this, they have a compact. They have tins, but they're deeper tins. So their compacts are a little bigger, and that's their only thing is that their tins are bigger. I'm like, okay. But I've had some friends try other creams, and the biggest difference that I've heard, ooh, I could see what I did wrong here. I need to bring it up right here. When people try other creams, because there's a lot of cream sticks out there now, when they try the other creams, their biggest thing is it's not as pigmented. So they market it as a buildable light coverage, but it, as you build it, it gets thicker. But then there's also people that are going and switching to Bellamy, and I don't think I could go back to liquid foundation. All right, so I'm gonna go back into my other palette. So we got Cocoa on the outside, and I'm gonna grab Lily with my finger. So these are all the colors that are gonna come out for the year. So every one of these, sugar. Oh, well, there goes that one. All those colors are coming out in, I gotta put this in the garbage. They're all coming out this year. All the colors from the Advent color, which is nice because a lot of people would say, I'm not getting the Advent colors because I still have a lot left in there. But I'm not getting the Advent colors because some of them are just too much for me. And now you can just pick and choose which ones you want, which is really nice. So all of these are coming out this year. All right, so we're going to take Lily. And we're just going to pop this on the lid and punch up the mid to inner a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to go into Una. And I'm going to put this on the outside. And we'll blend it in. Just going to push it in. It's so, so pretty. You'll PM me the brand. That's true. So when I do ingredient comparisons, I refuse to ingredient comparison another MLM because I don't want to, I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum, but I don't want, that's somebody's bread and butter potentially. And so I don't like to do that. So if anybody has one and they want to know, I usually do the same thing and I PM them. All right, so we're just putting Una on the outer corner. And do you see how it's not wild? It's not crazy. I'm going to use the fluffy brush. I'm going to add a little bit more. And I like doing this first because of the fallout. I don't want to make my under eyes look darker and make my eyes look more mature. But it's not a super hecka crazy color. It's just a little bit of purple with a little bit of brown. It's really pretty. And then as I put on the rest of my makeup, it all kind of ties together. But you should always do your eyeshadow first, because if there's fallout, it'll just mix with your makeup. It could be cream, it could be powder, it could be liquid, it could be whatever. It will always mess with it. Even if you bake to catch it, it's still gonna mess with it. It's color. All right, so I'm gonna take my eyeliner pencil. Okay, I wanted to try this one because a friend of mine uses it, and her eyeliner always looks really sharp and pigmented. And it's super, super skinny. Isn't it called the Skinny? Yeah. It's a Maybelline Master Precise Skinny. And it is. I'm constantly twisting this. And so I feel like it picks up a lot. So I think I'll end up buying a lot more than when I use my Tattoo Studio. So I'll probably go back to Tattoo Studio after this. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to waterline up here, pushing into that lash line. And then I'm going to get down. Oop, I got something in my eye. There we go. And then we're going to waterline the bottom. This is the part that probably takes me the longest. And then we'll dig into the face. If there's any colors you want me to use on the face, if there's any method you want me to use, hey, happy Monday. Yay. Hello, Brandy. If there's any methods you're kind of curious about, let me know and I will give them a try, because there's no wrong way when it comes to putting on this makeup. There's so many ways. Oh, and then just trying to find the way that works for you is all you need to know. So try them all, find the one that you like, and do that. I'm always down to try new ways. It keeps it fun. So just gonna get a little baby wing out here. Same over here. But guys, I did my 5K. I ran the whole thing. I called it my marathon for the rest of the trip. My husband was not thrilled. I was so sore. So we got this new treadmill, and it's not powered. Like, there's no electricity. It doesn't plug into the wall. It's all powered by us. So it's sloped. It's weird. And so if you run towards the front of the treadmill, it makes it go faster, and it's sloped like this. Okay. So it's supposed to be like running on the road. Oh man, this stuff. Okay. And so I've been training on it, watching my show to distract me from misery. I found a podcast I wanted to listen to, and I told my husband, because he was going to run it with me, and he thought we would talk. He thought we could talk. I'm like, I can't talk and run. I'm trying to breathe. I can't talk and run. Like, ask me to go on a walk if you want to talk. Like, so I found my podcast, and it took us, okay, so you put in the time you expect to run it, and they put you in like color categories, and they do that for the marathon too. So if you're a fast runner, you're a red, and if you're a little bit slower than that, you're a white, and then there's blue. So when you see people with their marathon bibs and their yellows and other colors, those are the slower ones. The red ones are the fast people. And so I was in the slower one because I thought I would run it in maybe 35 minutes. And so the week before the 5K, I started running the whole thing. And it was hard. But I had my show, and that really does. Not music. I need a show. So, I did it. Oh, I was so happy. But it took us. The first person that took off in the 5K finished it in 12 minutes. 3.2 miles in 12 minutes. I hadn't even started yet. I watched him cross the finish line while I was being herded to the start line. 12 minutes. Please, give me a break. So I did it in 36 minutes, which I shaved a minute off of the time for my treadmill. I will say our sloped treadmill did feel like road running. I didn't feel like I was flying and it was easier. I thought that it would be like, it was like running without a stroller. Like when you run with a stroller and then you try running without one, you're like, oh my God, I'm so good at running. I felt the same. However, I don't know why, but I was so sore the next day. Granted, we walked the rest of the day. Like we had to go get the bibs for the marathon, and we had to walk around and go find stuff. Like we did an additional 5 miles of walking that day. Casual walking, not power walking. I hurt so bad. I needed like a sit assist on the toilet. I thought I was gonna fall. Oh my god. I hurt so bad. I couldn't go downstairs without looking bad. Like, it was pathetic. It was pathetic. All right. So, I did it. I ran the whole thing. I maintained a heart rate. I maintained my pace. And I finished. And I felt fine until the pictures came out. I don't know why. And then they email you and they're like, here's your pictures. Because they like facial recognition. And then they send them to you. I don't run like a runner. I run like there's an extra gravity pull that day. And I didn't know I looked like that in leggings. I know what I feel like I look like in leggings. And then what I saw that I looked like in leggings, it was like the Michelin Man. There were so many tires. So many spare tires in my leggings on the front top. I was like, oh my God. I need, what are those shirts that are long? What are those called? Like, I don't need a standard. I need a long t-shirt. It was so bad. It was so, oh, I look like my mom. I look like my mother. Okay, let's whip on some brows because it's driving me crazy. Okay, is there a method? Do we want to see the dot method? Do you want to see, I'm obviously going to color correct, but is there a method that you've been curious about that you've been seeing? I don't think you need a BB cream with this makeup. I don't know why people are doing it. I don't think it gives you extra coverage, and I think SPF is good, but it only protects you for 2 hours. So I don't understand these BB creams as a primer. You're not getting more coverage. I mean, it's already really, I don't get it. But I'm not trying to tell anybody it's wrong. If you like the way your makeup stands up against it, then cool. Keep doing it. It's just not for me. So there's the, what is it called? There's the, I've been doing the camo versus camouflaging on my tutorials. I feel like I did that last time too. There's the dot method, marking up the entire face and showing how to blend it. There's, you just tell me, is there a color we need to see? You just let me know. All right, we're going to spray. I'm going to use this stuff. Brow wax. I'm doing a wedding this summer, and I did her trial run 2 weeks ago, and she goes, I like your brows. I'm like, great, let's do your brows. And I did her brows because she said she liked mine, which are very structured. She don't like structured brows. So I had to blend them way down. And so brow wax, if you're a natural brow person, the brow wax is really, really good because you can really coat a spoolie and shape them and do that comb up thing and then keep them really nice. Then you could get that angle and wet and just fill in bald spots, which is what she turned out wanted, not what I do. So there was that. And I am going to say, if you have a wedding and you're going to be in pictures, do not SPF that day. There's titanium dioxide. I know it gets hot. Titanium dioxide, your face won't burn, but SPF does cause backflash on the camera, and it can make you look lighter. So it'll look like your makeup's too light because of the backflash or something. All right, we're going to prime our face. We're getting into the nitty-gritty now of the part that everybody really wants to see, but I need my skincare to soak in. Milk Hydro Grip. I love this stuff. I have oily skin. So the skincare regimen that I'm doing, it's for maturing skin that's oily. And the brand I'm using, I'm not sharing the brand right now, you take a quiz and it tells you all the things you're looking for, the things that you really want to focus on, the problems you have, the type of skin you have, and this one is for maturing oily skin. And I say it really does control how oily I am and the longevity of my makeup. I never thought skincare could really help with your makeup until now, because I've never had a skincare like this where my skin has responded the way that it has, but my makeup has been better long term for the day. But if I do my makeup too close to putting on the lotion, I look shiny. Like there is a difference. You've got to let that skincare soak in. Okay. I feel like I'm going to expire. Okay. Let's get into color correcting. I have a couple palettes laying around right now. Here's my color correctors. What do we want to see? Demi, or do we want to see Frenchie under the eyes, or both? And I'm going to go in with my Aspen and Suede. I was talking with somebody this weekend, and when it comes to, so on my face, I have two things. I have scarring and I have hyperpigmentation. These are two different colors, but I also have a bit of rosacea mixed in with it. I have redness around my nose, broken capillaries, which are different than hyperpigmentation. That's why I'm using two kinds of colors. So I'm using that gray concrete color to mute the red. You still see the problems, but we've just muted it down. So then I go in around the nose. You could go over, it's fine. If you have large pores, which it's hard to tell here, I do have pores in this area that I find to be a problem. And so you can take, I love this brush, this blend brush. And I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why. It's light coverage, and that's what you want for your corrector. I think Aspen can help hide your large pores, sweeping them in that area with a light coverage brush. And this is a really good small end. I don't use Aspen on this end, but on this end, you just use it to really lightly mute the problems. You still see the problems, and we're just muting the color. And then you could go around to any other areas where you find redness and just take what's left on the brush and correct them. When I'm doing my makeup and it's all the way on, and I'm going to try to remember to do this at the end, and I feel like my pores are showing, I take this brush, I don't put anything on it, and I do little sweeps over those pore areas, and it almost cleans it up and helps hide them. So it could be a makeup application problem, and you just need to take this little end. If you don't have this brush, you want to get this brush. This is like your fixer brush. This fixes with the things. Okay, good to know. Your daughter is getting married. Yes. Best application to do that day. Colors to use for the mother of the bride. The mother of the bride. Sorry. I have something. I have something. Where is it? Okay. This is what I always say. This is a bride. Okay? All these other colors are bridesmaids or mothers of the bride, but this is your bride. So you take a color like this, and you could put that on your bride. You see how it's like bold? And then you could take a color like Photoshop and use that on a bridesmaid. You see how it's subtle? You never want to outdo the bride, obviously, right? Starlet is so pretty. It's really pretty on the lids, but I always say you can do mother of the bride. I would say similar colors, but subtle, whereas the bride is usually a little bit more. She's a lot more. My bride's not. My bride wanted it very, very subtle. It was funny. But I like doing similar tones. I don't like to always match the dresses. I still focus on the faces. I don't know. Everybody's very different, but no sunscreen for anybody in pictures. That's the biggest rule. No sunscreen for anybody in pictures, and keeping something with you. So what I do for my brides is I always usually give them a little palette too, because I have a bunch. And I will put in a powder, and I will put in their lip color. And then you can have, because you know when you order Saint, you get those little sachet bags. Oh, I wish this was a thing. So go to Amazon. My room is a disaster, so I hope you can't see it all. Okay, these things, you could get them on Amazon for like $8.99. And you put this in the sachet with this. And this, you can help her do touch-ups through pictures, because you don't have to put anything with it. And this will help pick up and press. And then you can put a little powder on, and you start on the temple and work in for touch-ups for the bride, and then a little bit of lip color. And that's it, because I always do a gloss, because the gloss you can easily tap on the high point and make it look like illuminator. She needs more luminous stuff like Summer Love, which is coming out in a collection. So that's what I would recommend for brides. That's what I give my brides. I gift my brides their lip color in a gloss, and I gift them these, and I gift them one of these to carry in their little clutch with them. And so there's that. Where is Summer Love? I'm gonna find it. Is this one it? No way. No, that's Maui, which is not available. Let me find it here. I got a new palette and it always throws me off. So Summer Love is coming out in a collection on May 1st, and it's a foundation color. So this is Summer Love, and it's a really, really pretty pink. It's neutral, but do you see how it's really pretty, and you could use it for you. But on May 1st, all proceeds of this collection, you get a beach towel that also has a checkerboard, and it comes with checkers, and it comes with this, with Summer Love as a collection, and 100% of the proceeds go to families of foster care. But it's a really great bridal color too, so you're like getting ready for the wedding and doing something good. All right, let's do the face. All right, so then we're gonna go into suede. So I was talking with somebody this weekend, and she was asking about her hyperpigmentation, and I always ask first because I want you to buy stuff. That's why I'm sharing. But I don't believe in overloading a palette with unnecessary colors. And so I asked her, I said, well, what's your contour? And it's olive. I told her, take your blend brush, because I knew she had one, and try using your contour the same way. So I'm going to skip suede today, and I'm going to go into my contour. So if you have indigo, scratch this. This won't work. But if you have olive or ash or stone or even cedar, which is what I'm using, you could do this same method that I do with suede. If you want to save your palette and you want to save the $16, go in with the fluffy end of the blend brush. You want this brush. This is my best addition to your collection brush. And you're going to go grab your contour, not a lot, and you're going to go around that hyperpigmentation and bring it up. And you're going to prep. You're going to almost pre-contour your contour. So take your contour, whether it's, again, olive, ash, stone, or cedar, and you can go around your hyperpigmentation, because I have it here. I've got a couple spots here, up here above my brow, and it's up here. And I'm just prepping really lightly with my contour. So you don't always have to buy. If you are Astoria, henna, I hate those colors. They look terrible on me. Nobody ever uses coal. Coal is like a Halloween color. Women of color don't even use coal. But if you're indigo, it won't work. Indigo's going to pull it because it has a red undertone. And so you're going to take that hyperpigmentation and you're going to take your contour and you're going to bring it up. And so that's it. You don't always have to buy the suede. You can't just use your contour. You'll go through your contour a little bit faster because you're using it twice, but it's $16. Who's paying $16 for contour right now except for with Saint? And usually if you're buying contour, you're buying 2 other contours or a shimmer with it. You can never buy just a contour. Anyways, get off my soapbox. And maybe you can. I don't know. I haven't been really looking at makeup in a really long time. But try it with your contour first because it might work. And she tried it and it worked. All I'm saying is this brush is going to be your best friend. And I don't necessarily call it a standalone brush. Even for light coverage, I don't like it as a standalone brush. But it's a good brush. All right. I'm going to do my under eyes. If you haven't used balm on your under eyes, you should. It's really good. All right. I do 2 ways. If I'm in a hurry, which I should be today, it's Frenchie. And this is this color. It's just this nice light peach. I barely put it on my finger. And we're going to put this under the eye and up and pull. Okay? It's just faster than Demi. But it doesn't work for everyone. It does work for me. I don't have a lot of deep darkness. If you have a lot of deep darkness, message me. If you have really mature under eyes, message me because Demi would be better. Because it can texturize, it can accentuate, and it can deepen your darkness if it's not the right color. So message me and we talk about it, because I want your palette to work for you, because I like Frenchie for my under eyes, my cheeks, and my lips, and I like when something does more than one thing. So I do try to go the cheapest route, which is a $16 blush, over, you know what I mean? Like there was this heavy debate about Frenchie. Like, is it good? Is it good? There was a whole debate on here once. And I like it in addition to your palette, not on its own. If you're very fair toned, it's a good single color. All right, so that's the correcting. Okay, you use Kohl under your neck. I use it to shadow. Really? I use Trust on my brows. Kohl's a little too dark for me. Okay. I love that you experimented with it. Natural shadowing. I'm scared to try powder. I always have a really hard time blending my powders. So I'm not going to experiment that here because I've got a day to do. All right. Maybe this weekend, because we're not doing anything this weekend but cleaning the garage. So we got chicks to move. I got baby chicks. It's a natural shadowing. I'm going to try it. I'm just not trying it today, but I'm going to try it. Okay. Let's do our face. I'm going to go in to my main highlight. I'm going to use I've been really liking this end of the powder brush. It's not for everyone, but I've been really liking it. I like full coverage. Just under the chin. You're going to make me try it, aren't you? You're going to make me try it. I'm going to try it. All right, we're going to do our makeup first. All right, I'm going to go in. I'm using Athens. And if you, okay, so if you have a wedding, I feel like we're in the wedding talk now. If you are in a wedding, I would recommend getting a camo color. If you have any issues like rosacea or scarring and it's on the front base of your face here, I would recommend getting a camo color because you could still get the same. We're going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to take my main highlight right here. Okay, so all my problems are right here. This is where I'm insecure. This is what I don't want to show, because when you're taking pictures, you're not taking pictures like this. You're taking pictures like this. And you're not like this, but you're turned. And so this is forward. And I don't like this on me showing. So I do a camo color. So I'm Athens. I use Hazel because it's too dark. This guy right here. Let's put it side by side. I was doing a tutorial and I needed a smaller palette. Come on. There we go. So these are my three. Oh, Frankenstein. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Contour. Bronzer. Okay. Hazel, Athens, White Peach. You see how they're all, this is why I say keep them close together, but this one's definitely darker. You're going to take that darker color and you're going to put that up here. So you're still getting the same coverage of the same amount of makeup. So we would usually take Athens and bring it up to cover this. Instead, I'm going to use a darker color, but it's not stacking with this. I sound so nasally right now. All right, then I'm going to take my brightening and we're going to see this trough? We're going to avoid the trough and we're going to go up. So you have your main, oh my God, my nose, main camouflaging darker color and your brightening color. Okay, does this make sense? Are we with me here? Okay. Yes, Kohl is a really good color. I have customers who use Salem. They have obviously very dark brows, but I use Trust, which is very close to Kohl. All right, so I'm going to take my main highlight first, and we're just going to even out and bring it down here, around the mouth, up and into the nose. And then we're going to bridge it in to that darker color. And then we're going to bridge it in to that light color. Like that. We're not worrying about this area right here. But do you see that? I'm going to add a little bit more of that hazel right there. And that gives you the coverage. Then you can go in with your detail brush and you go into your contour here and you go right here. Okay, grabbing more contour, and we're going to go right here. I always start on this part because I have thin hair, and I could flick it into the hair, bring it down the temple to meet, and up. Then you could take your bronzer, and you go right below it, right here. down the brow, into the temple, grab a little bit more. We're going to go right above it, like that. Practice this not on the day. See how pretty that is? And it's not super cakey, it's luminous, it's really pretty. All right, flipping it to this, I'm going to use the blend brush. Get the blend brush for the wedding. Grabbing that light color, we're going under that trough here. I'm going to go up, tapping, and over. I'm using cedar. I always use cedar now. I never really, cedar or stone. I like this look. It all depends on what look you like. And I'm just taking this and chiseling this out a little. But just making sure when you add more cream, it's down under the trough and up. Everybody has this trough. Powdering it doesn't necessarily hide it. It can accentuate when you, okay, so keep this in mind. A lot of people like to powder and set their makeup because they think they need it for a picture. When you're checking your makeup, you're doing this and you're looking at it. No, and then you're going to go take a picture. And you know what you're going to do? This. And so when you over powder, this gets accentuated. And as you're doing this, picture, 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 it's going to start doing stuff to it. I don't recommend baking this and over powdering your under eye, because with Saint, you're going to take your finger and you're just going to go like this to reset it. And if you brought a little compact with you, you can use a mirror. Does this make sense to everybody? I feel like we've just gotten it. Oh my God, the sun came out. Yay. Oh man. All right. But do you see how it's not crazy? I don't even have blush on yet. Okay. Does this make sense? I hope this helps with the whole wedding stuff. I think it's fun to try this and to do all the combos. And I haven't even finished my forehead. You could just take the little end of that detail brush, just dot it, and then push it, fan it like a flower, up and out. Just because it's, here's my thing, just because it's a wedding doesn't mean you have to cover your whole face in makeup and make it more. All you need to do is make it more dramatic. So on a wedding, your camera is going to take away 50% of whatever you put on your face. So use your phone to take pictures, not look at yourself, but take a picture. Because you'll see when you take a picture and then it sets into your phone, you'll notice it changes. That's what you want to do. Take a picture with your phone. When I have a photographer with me when I'm doing a wedding, I will say, take a picture of her. And she'll take a picture and I'll say, let me see it. And then I can see what needs to get fixed. So if the photographer's there, you could do that too. But all you're doing is, so on a wedding, what I usually do is I keep, if somebody is cedar, so my bride is cedar, I tap in between cedar and indigo and come with a middle and I just punch it up and I make it deeper. I could even use my bronzer, but you can make it deeper because what this looks like in real life is much darker than what you're seeing right here. Okay? Okay. Use balm on your unders and then you tap foundation. Helps conceal my wrinkles like crazy. Awesome. The balm is so good. Even if you're not a Saint user, the balm is so good for just any kind of concealer. It's so good. All right. So we're going into that camo color and I am going to go over my scarring. And it's really this simple. It's really this simple and it's buildable. And it's 80% pigmentation. None of the other stick foundations are 80% pigmentation. None of them. And then we're going in with that main Athens highlight down here. And just play with this makeup. I mean, it's a wedding. You want to be your best. Okay. Going into White Peach under the trough and up. All we're doing right here is creating balance with dimension and giving us the coverage. So we go into our main highlight, bridge it into that hazel darker color, and then we bridge it into that white peach color, and that makes it look seamless and not patchy. And then you can pull it down. Because your face, your makeup, your face ends, your makeup should not end at your jawline. That's how you end up with a picture where your face looks different than your neck. It's because you didn't bring it down your neck. Dolly Parton taught me that. Dolly Parton taught me that. The things I learned from Dolly. Taking that cedar, we're just going to go up here. It's just really easy forgiving makeup because it's easily fixed without having to wash your whole face. Cedar. underblend. Bronzer. Bronzer. It's this, I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years. I better make it look easy, but it really, really is. And especially if you take the time to get to know it. And if you feel like you look, this is where things get a little tricky. If you feel like you're looking a little greasy, maybe skip bronzer because it is very creamy and your contour is very dense. So you could take something like cedar and just bring it down lower and it won't look as creamy. Does that make sense? That's something that I do at weddings sometimes is I skip the bronzer because I do notice it can look extra dewy, especially if you're in a hot place like Palm Springs or wherever, wherever it's really hot and humid. And so you could just use cedar as kind of a bronzer, which I've done. All right, gonna do my under eyes, get us all matchy-matchy. We're gonna go under that trough and up. You don't want to use something like this or really even something like this. Definitely not a buff brush for your under eyes. Those are all full coverage brushes. I feel a tickle coming. I don't want it. All right, let's do our nose. Detail brush going in. The nose is the hardest for me. And I'm just going to stamp on the top side. All right. Top side. I always struggle with my nose. I have this bump right here. I've never broken my nose. I think it's just a trait I got from my dad. All right. Bringing that down. If you want to bridge it together, you can. Pinch it and sweep it. And then just use your finger. So simple. So simple. I'm going to take this brush here and I'm just going to tidy up right over here and here. So if you notice your pores look a little too pory, but be honest with yourself. Skin has pores. It wouldn't be realistic to think you can erase them. Our skin is our skin. If you have covered them to where you can't see them, those suckers are clogged and they're not breathing, and your skin is going to react to something like that. And it may not be a breakout, but it will be aging skin. And so I always just take this, and I notice that if I just sweep like this, it kind of cleans things up, picks up excess. It could just be because there's too much on it. And just going like this over your pores will help clean it up. You could keep this in the little box it comes in. What kind of box does it come in? It comes in those cute little boxes. Like this. They come in boxes like this. And you could just slide it in and keep that in your purse so it doesn't get your purse all junky. And that's that. So you could easily just keep this with you and use it for touch-ups also. Blush. I don't recommend using glosses on a wedding day. I don't recommend using glosses any day. I wish Cindy was more of a satin or came out in a satin. All right, my favorite's been Rosewood. I'm going to use my finger. And I keep mine up here. If you have rosacea, if you have scarring on your cheeks, don't apply it directly to the apples. Apply it in areas around it. And then take a brush and just, I smile whenever I do it. And we just tap it out. And it's super bronzy and pretty, but it does have a bit of orange in it. I think sandstone is more orange. I get into a heavy debate with my girlfriend about this because she thinks that rosewood is more orange. But you could easily go in to pink grapefruit and just add a little pink to it if you want. And it's really pretty. I've been mixing them lately just for that little extra pink. And it's so, so pretty. All right. We're going to contour the lips. Where am I in my palette? Okay. Cedar. Up here. You do not need to outer line your lips. You don't need to, okay, okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, I just got it lightened a little bit. I just did it. I got some little light pieces put in. Look at me. I'm basically blonde. No. But my hair is finally growing. I outgrew my halo. So that's why I haven't been wearing my halo. It's shorter than my hair. Anyway, all right. Taking brightener, and we're gonna go around. Okay, I got the new scent. Did anybody else get the new scent? And I have it in my palette. I'm not an illuminator person, but I wanted my palette to smell pretty, so I just keep it in there. It is nice, and I'll put it right here where I have a natural shine. So just let the light hit your face and then add it to that same spot. It's very pretty. The smell, I got it. I don't smell it in the lotion. And I had to pay real money for it. I didn't get it for free, but I was hoping it was going to smell. Does anybody remember Vanilla Fields? I loved Vanilla Fields. It was like my jam. I was hoping for sweet vanilla like that, but when I smelled it, I was like, what is that? And I opened it in my kitchen, and I was like, it belongs in my kitchen. And I went into my spice rack and started smelling things. And then I got to allspice. And I think it has like an undertone. I smell the vanilla. I smell like the strawberry, like this much, but I smell the allspice. It's a bit spicy. When people say spicy, I'm like, what does that mean? That can mean so many things. Cinnamon? Like, what is that? I smell allspice. But then I asked a girlfriend, Lisa Ringus. I don't know if anybody follows her. She smells ginger snaps. It's funny. It came in. It's so funny how everybody picks up different notes. But it is, I would say, the best out of all of them. And I am enjoying it. Because Thanksgiving, you know, that is my favorite. We all know that. I'm already planning Thanksgiving. already in the works. All right. I say I'm planning, but it's pretty much planned every year the same. Okay. But things are getting exciting. I'm planning my new silverware. These are the things that start exciting you in your 40s. Okay, so I'm taking Renaissance, which is like MAC half red, but not the same price, and it's way more. And then I'm gonna go grab Summer Love, which comes in a collection on May 1st with a towel. So if you need a towel, and oops, wrong palette, and you have little kids, like we're taking a family trip this summer, and I'm getting the towel. I might even grab 2, although I think I just need 1. But because it comes with the checkers set, my kids can sit on their towels by the pool and play checkers. And I was like, what a fun idea. So I'm excited about it. I think it's great. I don't think it's everybody's cup of tea. And I was hoping for more. This is for the foundation. I don't know if something's coming out for Mother's Day, but I was kind of hoping that like Maui would be the lip and cheek that it came with, or, you know, the lip oil. So my biscuit's a little burnt about that. I'm like, Summer Love, like, why couldn't we come out with Maui? All right, so I'm going to take Summer Love with Renaissance. I love Renaissance, and I use it on everybody because it goes on everybody. Everybody, because it doesn't have to be super dark. So I'm going to take Summer Love, which is in the collection and great for weddings, bridesmaid, everybody. Everybody could wear the same lip color, and it could look different on everybody. It's so pretty. And it's just this beautiful, like this is bridal pink. Bridal, like bridal party, bride, mother of the bride. This is a really, really pretty color, and Renaissance goes with it. And Renaissance is dense, and so if you have straw lines, because we're mother of the bride or whatever, my son's 23, so I can say that. It's going to help with bleeding. Like my Grandma Jo, she loved herself some metallic lipstick. Like she sported that metallic pink with that rouge, and she smoked her Winstons and her Newports, and she always had her lipstick went up. But using a dense lip liner like Renaissance with this brush is so good because it creates that barrier, and using that dark liner helps them look fuller. It's really, really pretty. So if you are thinking about maybe wanting to help out families of foster care, because it goes to the families, not just, it goes to everybody, like stuff, okay? The owners of SATE are very into foster care. They do foster. And so the towel, and then it comes in a collection. I think it's going to be $40. So it's a towel and a checkerboard. And then you can either get just the towel or you can get it with a collection with Summer Love. And 100% of the proceeds go to families of foster care. There's also always, if you're wanting to do a little bit more, gosh darn it, I keep grabbing the wrong palettes. There are 2 colors. I'm going to grab them. There's this guy and this guy. These 2 eyeshadows. Mija and Stay Golden. These 2 colors, anytime you buy them, all day, every day, all year, 100% of the proceeds go to foster care anytime you buy these. So you could get the towel, the lip and cheek, and these 2 eyeshadows, which I use this clearly all the time. And it makes such a pretty sunset eye. Really pretty Mother's Day look. And I have a tutorial on it. And that also goes to it. So you could do just a little bit more if that's what you want to do. It's up to you. I don't care. All right, let's set our face and get the heck out of here. So, Urban Decay for oily skin. Also, Charlotte Tilbury is really good. I just put 2 in a palette too because I use it so much. And I take a fluffy brush, always starting on the perimeter. For weddings, I don't use this. I use a different one. I use the, oh, it's packed up from when I did my bride. Where'd it go? It's packed up from when I did my bride. And it's, oh, here it is. Laura Mercier. I just get this little one. It lasts forever. Laura Mercier. But when I use this one, here's how I do it. I tap it, and then it should get on the lid. It did not. You're going to tap this onto the brush, okay? Then you're going to go and you're going to swirl this onto the lid. And then you're going to tip it upside down and you're going to knock on it. And this is going to bring it down the bristles. And then you start on the outside and you work in. Not on the soft tissue. I'm going in, but I'm not hitting that. Going into the nose, into that. I find that this does have a little more staying powder, but it is a bit thicker. And then when I think it's empty, because we did that knocking, we can pinch it and then we start going under the eyes. But we still get that really pretty, do you see how there's still that little subtle dewiness? And then in an hour, it's gonna meld in and do really well. But then you take your setting spray. When you use something like this, you're gonna take your setting spray, you're gonna go over it. Okay, so remember how it looked a little more set? Press that setting spray in with that same brush. You see that? You see? That's what you do. I want to do your wedding. I want to do your daughter's wedding. But there you go. So that's the face. If you want to add more, I don't do bronzer on my neck, but what you can do is take a fluffy brush and go down all 3 of these and go on your neck. And it balances it right out. And that's it. Depending on your collar. If you have a high collar, careful, because it will transfer. It's makeup, not magic, okay? All right. That's my face. Let me know if you guys have questions. Message me if you have questions. If you're curious about your camo color, let me know. It's not necessarily a color match situation where you have to send me a picture. You just have to tell me your main highlight, and I can usually guess off of that because I know the undertones and warmth and cool and all that stuff. So that's it. That's my face. I'm so glad I didn't have a coughing fit. Okay, come down to Kansas. Oh my gosh. I want to go to Kansas. We drove through Kansas once when we moved up here from Louisiana, and I wanted to go to Dorothy's house. My dad said no. Broke my heart. Broke my heart. But that's it. Message me if you have questions about the wedding, Brandy. We could come up with some palettes and some color ideas, swatches, all the things. So, get the blend brush is what I'm taking away from this tutorial today. And get the multitasker brush for your lips And I'm going to say I think I threw it in here, that eyeshadow primer I was playing with. Oh, here it is. Get the eyeshadow primer. This is really good for weddings too. But those are my takeaways. Multitasker, blend brush. There's a link in my link tree that's linked in the description for this stuff. You don't have to go buy a BK Beauty brush. You can use your finger to tap it out. Anyways, that's it. I will be back next Monday. I'm so glad I'm feeling better. I'm going to go chug some water now. Have a great day.